Okay, good morning students. Okay, let us continue the third module. Next concept is three-state buffers. Okay, and also one more thing, I have to clarify the doubts regarding the last class. Okay, see this particular problem. Realize y is equal to a bar b plus b c bar plus abc using an 8:1 multiplexers, and also realize the same with 4:1 multiplexers, right? So while realizing the 8:1 multiplexer and 4:1 multiplexer, but here the expression has been mentioned, right? So first we have to see that how many inputs or how many control inputs are there in that particular expression. We have to see. So for 8:1 multiplexers, how many control inputs required? It's a basic that we require three control inputs, right? But in this expression, what exactly in the third case only abc is there, right? And first and second, one term is missing, or one control input is missing. Here it is a is missing and here it is c is missing, right? So for that reason, just to rearrange that, to make that third control input, I am doing this step. See here, this step, a bar b, I am adding c bar plus c, because of I need to get this c control input. For that reason I am doing this one. Okay, and plus b bar c bar, again here a is missing, right? For that reason I am doing a bar plus a. So this is what exactly here I need to get control input a. For that reason I am doing this step. Okay, and the third step I can't do a bar or b bar c bar, because all the three control input are present here. For that reason I leave that as it is. Okay, so after rearranging this equation, so you have to multiply inside. Okay, after that, what is the result? A bar b c bar plus a bar b c plus a bar b bar c bar plus, like that it is obtained, right? So see here, so you have to write in a min term, like decimal. This what exactly expression I need to reduce it as 0, like 2, this is 3, this is 4, and this is 7. Okay, so once I have obtained this, means I have to realize using 8:1 multiplexers. So 8:1 multiplexers, anyhow you know that, so it is from the data lines from 0 to 7, means totally 8 data inputs, and 3 what exactly select lines or else control inputs. Okay, so wherever 0 is there, no, we have to consider it 0, and means we'll have to consider all those things to plus 5 volts. 1 means 0, we have to connect it to plus 5 volt, 2 to plus 5 volt, and 3 to plus 5, 4 and 7 remaining all are 0. No need, it is not like that you have to convert it to plus 5 volts, but only whichever the obtained expression is there, no, so those are all min terms. I have to say the data lines are data inputs are 1, the remainings are 0. Okay, the left out term here is 1, 4, 5 and 6. Those are all what exactly 0. The data inputs of those are 0, the remaining are 1. It means that. Okay, so this is what exactly the realization of 8:1 multiplexers. So and if you have any doubt, just go through this. How come this circuit means it is 8:1 multiplexers circuit looks like this only. It's 8 data input lines, 3 control input lines, and 1 output. Okay, okay, the next how now I have to realize 4:1 multiplexers, right? So for that reason, so same expression will take this. So this expression, all the combination will be of 3 control inputs, abc abc abc, like that, right? So but 4:1 multiplexers realization, all the 3 control inputs are not required, right? So because 4:1 multiplexers requires 4 data input lines and 2 control input lines, right? Only I require AB as the control input and the 4 data lines, but here C is extra here in all the cases, right? For that reason I need to make that as a separate grouping. All the C terms, whatever the C terms in there in this expression, no, I need to make the separate what exactly grouping. Okay, so once I will do this, means see here, A bar B bar means it is what exactly, it is 0 0, right? So 0 0, so that is what exactly D naught. So A bar B means what, 0 1, so that is your D1. A bar next same thing, 1 2 3 4. why I am left why I am leaving this one term here in this case means because a bar b is repeating. For that reason you have to leave that one. So the next will will consider only one, not both, because 0 0 0 1, either you have to consider this or this. Okay, next is 1 0, a b bar 1 0, you will consider this one, that as d2, and d3 is what, eb means what exactly d3 as 1 1 means ab means c is. Okay, like that. d0 is c bar, d1 is 1. Why is considered d1 as 1? You have doubt, no? Because here c bar is there, here c is there, because here there are two terms available here for 0 1 0 1. One is c bar and one c. If you add those two, c plus c bar, it will be what, 1, right? So for that reason they have written 1 here. Okay, so next third term is anyhow c bar, and fourth term d3 is c. Like that it will be generated. Is it clear now, that doubt of this particular problem? So this is why they have written c bar like that. But why they are not written c bar in this case means, in this second case means, because the two terms are available here. So all the 0 ones, one grouping c bar is there, one grouping c is there, right? For that reason, if you add the c plus c bar means what will be the, or else don't neglect this, just you have to take the common a bar b, take common a bar b. So what will be a bar b means what? So see here, I am writing here, if I am taking a bar b as common in this case, so what is the left out thing? C plus c bar, right? Correct. So what is c plus c bar? 1, right? So what is the left out thing is a bar b is equal to what? 1, right? Into 1, right? A bar b into 1. Is it clear? So the a bar b means 0 1, the corresponding element is 1. So for that reason they are taking 1. Now it is clear. Okay, this is about your doubt. Okay, so previous problem. Next we'll move to the next concept, 3-state buffers. Okay, 3-state buffers, next concept. So here, see here in this diagram, so what is that? This is your buffer, whatever this it is not a inverting or non-inverting circuit, it is just buffer, means there is no bubble here. Okay, just it is like triangle shape like is there, no? That is what exactly your buffer. So the gate output can only be connected to the limited number of other device inputs without degrading the what performance of the digital system. Okay, so whatever the output of this digital system which connected to the limited number of device inputs, other limited device. So what exactly the simple buffer may be used to increase the driving capacity of the gate output. That why we are using buffer in this case means we have to increase the what exactly, driving capacity of the gate output. For that reasons, for this here what exactly we are using OR gate, right? So just to increase the driving capacity of this gate output, I am going to use this buffer. Okay, and this following figure, so buffer is connected between, where it is connected, it is connected between the gate output and several gate inputs. So these are also gates, right? These are also gates. The buffer is connected between the gate output and the several inputs of the several gate inputs. Okay, so because no bubble is present at the buffer output, so this is a non-inverting buffer. So here there is no bubble in this case. For that reason it is a non-inverting buffer. Okay, if it is a bubble here is there, means it is a inverting buffer. That you should remember. And the logic values of the buffer input and the output is same, that is f is equal to c, because whatever the output value and whatever the input value c is, f is equal to c. So wherever if c is equal to 1 means f is also 1, f is 1 means here c is 1. So for that reason, that is f is equal to c. Okay, logic values of the both the input and outputs of this buffer is same, because it is a non-inverting buffer. Okay, so now you have the idea about what is buffer and how we need to how exactly it is connected between the gate outputs and the several inputs of the other gates. Okay, so normally, so now we have you know the buffer and how exactly it is connected and all. So now we have to see the 3-state buffers. Okay, so normally the logic circuit will not operate correctly if the outputs of the 2 or more gates or the other logic devices are directly connected to each other. So okay, so what it means that, so when this, what exactly the logic circuit will not operate when if the outputs of the two or more gates or other logic devices are directly connected to each other, means then the logic circuit will not work. So in that case we are using the three-state logic permits the outputs of the two or more gates and other logic device to be connected. So in this case, see here, this is what exactly your three-state buffers. So this looks like what exactly your logic circuit, but here three states are present, A, B, C. Okay, so how exactly the it works means I will say. Okay, so when the enable input B is 1, so this B is 1 means the output C is equals to A. Okay, whatever the C is equal to A, it is directly this type of buffer. Okay, F is equal to C, I told no earlier in this case. But when it is possible in three-state buffers, when B is equal to 1, then only C is equal to A. Okay, so when B is equal to 0, what happens? So output C looks like what exactly? Open circuit, because B0, if B0 means there is no what exactly the connection between these two, right, A and C. For that reason it looks like an open circuit. Is it clear? So in this way the three-state buffer will be okay. And also if I wanted to write the truth table for each, so I have to, so what is the we'll see that one. The output C is effectively disconnected from the buffer output so that no current can flow. Okay, is it right? So if there is open circuit means there is no current flow, right? So if it is closed circuit means then the current is, some current is flowing in the circuit branch, or here it is open circuit means there is no current flowing across the circuit. Okay, so hence this condition, or this is often referred as a high impedance state of the output, high Z or high impedance. Z means impedance, right? So high impedance state of the output, because the circuit offers very high resistance or impedance to the flow of current. So for that reason, this case I need to call it as a high impedance state of the output when B is equal to 0 and the C is an open circuit, there is no current flow across the circuit. So three-state buffers are also called as tri-state buffers. This you should remember also. Tri means 3, right? So state buffers, three-state buffers, also called as tri-state buffers. Is it clear? So I'm repeating once again, just I'm glancing once again. See here the three-state buffers. So here the three states are there. Okay, so when B is equal to 1 means if you enable this input B as 1 means the output C is equal to A. But if you this is disabled means B is equal to 0 means this C looks like open circuit, so there is no current flow across this circuit. So when there is no current flow across this circuit means it is in a high impedance state of the output. Okay, so when it is in high impedance state means it is very high resistance or impedance for the flow of current. Okay, so this is what exactly three-state buffers concept. Okay, so the next we'll have to see the truth table of the three-state buffers, how exactly we have to write for the truth table for these things. The following figure shows the truth table. Okay, so see here, these are also like all 4 are three-state buffers. Okay, all 4 are three-state buffers, but see here the difference. Inputs are what exactly for AB. I'm with respect to AB, I'm changing the output as C. Okay, so for each three-state buffers, I'm writing with respect to AB as an input, C as your output, right? So here in this case, B as 0, A as 0. When B as 0, you know what exactly it looks like open circuit, means it is in high impedance state. That's why you have to write it in Z. They have written Z means it is in a high impedance state, because C is open circuit when B is equal to 0. Okay, understood this truth table, first one. So A may be anything, A input value, whether it is 0 or 1, anything. So when B is 0 means it looks like open circuit. Is it clear? So coming to the next condition, B is 0, A is 1. So anything, it is high impedance state. Okay, so but here in this case, see here, when B is equal to 1, so whatever the A value is there, if it is 0 means it will be 0 when B is equal to 1. So 1 1 means what exactly? A is equal to 1 and C is equal. Simple concept. When B is equal to 0, output should be in high impedance state irrespective of the A input value. Is it clear? And if B is equal to 1 means C is equal to A. If A is 0 or 1, C always equal to A. This is what exactly you have to remember, these 2 points. Is it clear? When B is equal to 0 means C acts as an open circuit, there is no current flow across that. That state of the output should be in a high impedance state. That's why it is written as Z. Okay. When B is equal to 1 means C always equal to A. Means when A is 0, C is also 0. When A is 1, C is 1. Is it clear? See here, A 0 is there, then C is also 0. When A is 1, C is also 1. When B is equal to 1, that is the case. Is it clear? Truth table of the first buffer will clear, right? Second, move to the second one. See this one. See here also, here there is a bubble is there, no? So but anyhow the figure A and figure B 3-state buffers are non-inverted. Okay, it means that it will what 0 0, again same condition, B is equal to 0, open circuit, so high impedance state. When B is equal to 1, C is equal to A. See here, this truth table also follows the same rules. But here in these two C and D figure, see these two acts as a what exactly? These are inverted buffers, because B, there is a bubble here in the B because if it is a reverse case, no? So see here, when B is 0, C acts as open circuit in the previous case, right? If it is a bubble present and these two acts as inverted circuits, means when B is equal to 1 means C acts as an open circuit in these two cases. In these two cases is the reverse process of the previous one. Is it clear? Here in this case, B should be 1 to C in a high impedance state. See in this truth table, when B is equal to 1, irrespective of A input value, C output is always in high impedance state. Is it clear? It's a reverse case of the previous one. Is it clear? So see here in this truth table, I'm telling that B is equal to 1 irrespective of A, C value is Z. So B is equal to 1 irrespective of A, C value is Z, means it is an impedance state. When B is equal to 0, in these two cases, what will happen? When B is equal to 0, in these cases, whatever there is your input, no? So what that is your output, means C is equal to A. That means C is equal to A. When B is equal to 0, when B is equal to 1, its output acts as a open circuit, and then their output should be always in a Z condition. Is it clear? Don't confuse. Again I am repeating, the first two 3-state diagrams are non-inverting circuits. Okay, so when B is 0, the C output acts as an open circuit and they are in a high impedance state. When B is equal to 1, output is equal to input. Okay, but here in the C and D diagrams are there, no? They are inverted circuits. For that reason, here is the reverse case. B is equal to 1, then your output should be in open circuit, that should be in high impedance state, and B is equal to 0 means the output is equal to input. Okay, this is what exactly about your 3-state diagrams. And the next see here in this how exactly these 3-state buffers acts as a 2:1 multiplexers. We'll check. Okay, so see here, this is one 3-state buffer and this is one 3-state buffer, but this is what exactly inverting 3-state buffer, because bubble is there, but here it is non-inverting 3-state buffer, because inverting so bubble is not there here. So when what is the output? So see here, when B is equal to 0, the top buffer is enabled, right? Because it is inverted, right? B is equal to 0 means the top buffer is enabled, so that D is equal to what? A, right? So the lower buffer is enabled when D is equal to C. When D is equal to C, but B always is equal to 1. Okay, so see this one, it looks as same concept as 2:1 multiplexers. see the 2:1 multiplexers logic and this particular logic, it looks always same, because there two what exactly it always the data inputs A and C values will depend on B value, right? Is it clear? So when B is equal to 0, D selects the data input A. When B is equal to 1, D selects the data input as C. It is same as the same logic of 3-state buffer, right? So for that reason, this is what exactly it is similar to when you combined inverting and non-inverting 3-state buffers, and if you check the logic of that, it will be similar to the 2:1 multiplexers, because both logic looks similar. Is it clear? So next, see here the respective what exactly the diagram, truth table. So anyhow, that what exactly the, you know that, right? 2 3-state buffers are there here. So B is always, it is not inverting, right? It is non-inverting because there is no bubble here. So if B is equal to 1, whatever the S1 is, whatever A is there, no, that will be your S1, right? So like that S1, so have some input state I have written, X maybe anything 0 or 1. So here 0 1, Z means what? Impedance state. Just you have to don't confuse why X Z means it is not, both are same. X means it might be a 0 or it might be a 1. 0 0, right? Anyhow 1 1. So Z is, it is not 0 1 like that, it is in a high impedance state. Is that you should remember. And S2 means X0 1, that like that. When your S as output of the first 3-state buffer as X means, and S2 is also X means, what is output should be always X, right? It might be, I don't know what is the input of the output value of S1 and S2 means it is always in X condition. So if your output of the first buffer will be X and output of the S2 buffer will be 0 means your output also will be X, right? So I don't know the output of the first buffer, no, because it is X. It might be a 0 or 1, for I don't know. For that reason it is unknown. In all the cases, if the one buffer output value is unknown means any value you will take from the S2 output, it is always output should be X only, because I don't know, right? So for that reason we have to write it like X means unknown value. We don't know that exact value, for that reason. Okay, now it is understood the first row. The second row take, so the output of the first 3-state buffer, if it is 0 means then I don't know the S2 output value, then also it is X, right? Because I don't know the value of S2 value, because it is unknown. For that reason it might be 0 or 1. For that reason I need to write X. So but here in this case, when S1 value output value 0, S2 output value 0 means then F value is also 0. Okay, then but 0 0, if both are 0 means then the output should be always 0, because it is directly connected. If in this case S1 as 0, S2 as 1 means, see here in this case S1 0, S2 as 1, so again the output should be X, because I don't know whether it might be 0 or 1, for I don't know. For that reason I need to write the output as X. So again, if the one of the S1 should be 0 and S2 should be Z in high impedance state, so then also your output should be 0. High impedance state means then 0. Z, one more point you have to remember, that one of the output is Z and other output will be, it might be X, it might be 0, and it might be 1, or it might be Z also. The output should be the other one, means if it is XZ, the output should be X. If it is 0 Z, output should be 0, and if it is 1 and Z, output should be 1. And Z means always it is high impedance state only, like that you have to take. Okay, always if it is 0 0, if the output of both S1 and S2 0 means your F output should be 0, or else your output of both S1 and S2 should be 1 means then your F is 1. In all the cases it is either it might be a X value or it might be your Z value. Now it is clear. Okay, so the next concept, multiplexers. See here, it is multiplexers may be used to select one of the several sources. Here is the multiplexers can be used one of the several states. For example, if an adder input must come from 4 different sources, a 4:1 multiplex may be used to select one of the 4 sources. The 4 sources are available here, so it will select only one of the one sources out of 4. Okay, an alternative is to set up the 3 state bus and using 3 state buffers to select one of the sources. In this circuit, each buffer symbol actually represents the 4 3-state buffers, and they have common enable signals. Here, for this, always it should be a common enable signal for. Is it clear? Okay. See here in this diagram, it is an integrated logic circuit, and also I'm connecting the output of this will be connected to the again a buffer. There it is an enable, again input, so always it is in a bi-directional input output pin. Don't consider this these two. Okay, you have to remember this much. Okay, so the next concept is decoder and encoder. Will tell in the next class. So first you have to and again you have to before going to start the decoders and encoders, also demultiplexers is also there, but hopefully it is not there in your syllabus, demultiplexer. But anyhow you should know that concept of the demux. Anyhow, if you know the multiplexers concept, means you should always know the demultiplexers also, even though it is not there in syllabus. Sometimes it might be asked, but as I have checked, there is no, it is not there in your syllabus. But again I am telling that. So before going to the decoder, so I will just explain what is demux and how exactly okay, wait a minute. Okay, so this is your demultiplexers. Okay, demultiplexers means one into many. So multiplexers is what exactly? So the data inputs are n number of data inputs are there, and you will get the output as single, right? So that is what exactly multiplexers. We have to what exactly? So that 4:1, 2:1, 8:1. No, the data inputs are more, and the output should be single. In this demultiplexer, it is a reverse case. Demultiplexers means one into many. So only data input is available here, only one, and control input is many, and the output should be many, means 1 to m control inputs on 1 to n control outputs. So demultiplexers, again in terms of definition, if I wanted to tell, means the demultiplexers is a logic circuit with one input and many outputs. By applying control signals, can steer the input signal to one of the output lines. So the circuit has one input signal and m control or select signals and n output signals, where n always less than or equal to 2 power m. And one more thing you have to remember, that this control inputs are nothing but the select lines. Control inputs or select lines. Okay. So the next here see this 1:2 multiplexers demux. The one data input, one select lines is required, and 2 outputs. So here if I wanted to say the inputs always d, no, so always you have to take the d values. So if you select 0, your output should be y1 is what? 0, y0 is d, because y0 y1, no, for that reason first y0 is always your d when a is equal to 0. So when a is equal to 1 means your y1 should be d. Is it clear? So don't confuse with this concept. Your data input is d, right? Select inputs are what exactly? A. Okay, or control inputs. Your output is what? y0 and y1. Is it clear? So your data inputs is always d, right? So when a, your control input should be 0, means it will select y0 will select d. Is it clear? Y0 will select the data input d. In that case y1 should be 0. Is it clear? So the next case, when the select line is 1 and y0 is what? In this case it is 0, and this should be d. That is what. Don't confuse this. Okay, this is what exactly your demultiplexers. And also that demultiplexers, so for this DA bar and DA, so you have to write the logic diagram of this DA. For that D direct input, A bar means I require one inverter. For that reason, if here the input is A, means here it is A bar, so here it is at this side D and A. Why not Y1? So here 1:4 multiplexers. See here in this diagram, two select lines, so 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1, so always data input should be 1, right? So when the if these two are 0, it will select Y0 first, D 0 0. If it is 0 1 means it will select Y1, second one, so rest are all 0. So if it is 1 0 means it will select third one, Y2. Okay, so rest are all zeros. So if it is 1 1, so it will take the Y3 and all are 0. So like that. So this is 1:8 multiplexer, same thing, but here it is in this case 3 select lines, 0 0 to 1 1 you have to write, and data inputs. So first, if it is there means first Y0 should be D. It will be shift like this. It will be shift left diagonally, like this. It will shift left diagonally. Is it clear? So this part is always D. When 0 0 0, this D, then 0 0 1, this will be your D, and 0 1 0, this D will be your D, like that. The rest are all zeros. Is it clear? Is it clear? So here how exactly they have written the expression, the D as usual. So see here, select lines S2 0 is there, for that S2 bar, S1 0 is there, S1 bar, S0 0 is there, S0 bar, like that you have to write for all. Second, I will show second one also. S2 bar is there, so S2 bar, S1 bar 0 is there, S1 bar, so S0 is 1 is there, S0. So again we have to add D here, like that we have to write. This is not required, and it is anyhow not there in your syllabus. Just you know the concept of multiplexers, how it works. Okay, and also it is not included in the notes also. Just you have to go through this if you want the demultiplexers concept. It is reverse case of multiplexers. There it is many to one, so here one to many, like that. Okay, next we'll see in the next decoders and encoders we'll see in the next class. Thank you guys.